This next exercise is for strengthening and elongating our arms, also getting some movement in our thoracic spine. You're going to extend your arms out to either side and twist one arm one direction with the opposite arm going the opposite direction, and twist as far as you can in each direction while also trying to lengthen your arms by extending them to the walls on either side. Once you have gone as far into the twist as you can, then switch and go the opposite direction. One movement each direction, twisting your arms, is 1 rep. You will do 2 sets of 8 reps, twisting either direction, elongating your hands as much as you can, and you should feel the movement throughout your thoracic spine as well. This next exercise is a wrist exercise. It can be very challenging, so start with your elbow on a desk or something to provide some support. Your fist should be facing away from you, and to start, we're going to break this down into several different movements. You're going to move your wrist either direction. She's going to touch either side of my hand. I'm going to provide a little support with her fist, because the fist movement is not what we want. We want the wrist to be moving as much as is possible. When I take my hand off it, she's going to have a little bit more of a challenge moving her wrist, yes, towards my fingers and not moving her fist. As she practices and looks and focuses, the movement will become smoother and slower and easier for her to do. After you do each movement, you're going to close your eyes and try and mimic the same movement as smoothly as possible without looking at the movement that you're performing. Once it's less challenging, move on to the next part of this exercise, which is moving the wrist in the opposite direction, this way, medially and laterally. You'll notice that muscles that are weak will jump and not have smooth movements. It'll be a jerky movement. Once these muscles have started engaging, the movements will become smoother. Again, when I take my hand off of the top of her fist, it will be more challenging. And then we're going to put these movements together and do a full circle with the wrist. Certain directions will be more difficult to get the movement to happen in. It looks to me like she's having more difficulty extending her wrist in front of her than she is in any other portion. So pointing that out, becoming aware of it, and really focusing on engaging those muscles in that particular movement is extremely helpful for balancing out the strength of the forearms and hand. And then take your hand off and try, yeah, very good. You'll notice some clicking sometimes in the joints, and that's because the muscles haven't been engaged in a way to pull on these bones, and so they kind of click over them instead. As you become stronger, the movements will be smoother and a lot less difficult. Going each direction in circles, you will do 15 circles in each direction. Switch hands and do the same thing on the other hand.